Den Television, built different. Be legendary.
Have you seen no budget films, documentaries on YouTube?
Yeah, I love it. It's crazy good.
What NBF movies have you watched?
The Boo Jones Story, The Ghost Story, and the Trinidad Check-In, Pure Fire.
No Budget Films USA, home of the Go-Go Roundtable and Lion's Den Television. The legends live here. Global pioneers live here. The truth lives here. Be legendary.
He gave Berry Gordy the Lifetime Achievement Award. He said the first place he sent his audience was Washington, D.C. If he sent Motown to Washington and if they made it in D.C., that act was going to make it anywhere in the country. And he said the reason why is because D.C. had the most sophisticated audiences.
Roll sound.
Have you seen no budget films, documentaries
On YouTube, they salute the many unsung stars of DMV music and culture. Yeah, I love it. It's crazy good.
The name is Bond, James Bond.
Going out to the old Lincoln High School. Detroit Fog. Clifton Terrace. Randall. Everybody on the Quincy.
Originally from PG, Charles, Montgomery counties, the city of Washington, D.C., or Alexandria, Virginia. One thing for sure and two for certain is the go-go music and culture is in you for life. Long live go-go.
Where were you when you first heard Ovation? What were your thoughts? And then tell us about the band itself and, in general.
So for me, Ovation wasn't one of the first bands I heard, but when I did hear them, it was in the capacity of the Air Raids, the Sugar Bands, the Sugar.
Here is Maryland. As we get down, do it for Bush City, Seat Pleasant, Capitol Heights, Fortville, Ted, Black, Susan. Here is Maryland.
The Air Raids, the Sugar Bands, the Sugar Deuce Connections. It was those up and coming bands that were making noise outside of the Class bands and the Petworth bands. And these bands were not from around like DC, like they weren't from the inner city. So for some of us who couldn't move around, like older people, they were kind of anomaly to us because all we had was PA tapes of them. So whenever the first band I heard Ovation was actually a PA tape. And it was, like I said, in the capacity of somebody had an air raid and they like, check this out. This band named Ovation, right? So we was like, damn, they crank it. It's a different sound. Like it was totally different. Like they just had like this dry. I don't know who was mixing them, who PA they was using, but they had figured it out. Like most of the DC bands, like we knew everybody who did the same thing. But for those guys, they had to find their own.
Where y'all from? Town crew, the Valley crew, that Uptown crew, that PA crew. Now one more time. Now, hey, when I say TC, now you say tights up. TC, tight. TC. When I say TC, you say Titans. TC. TC. Mr. Wiggles, y'all. Hey, P-Funk, I want to get the Wiggles one more time. Here we go, Mr. Wiggle. One more time, Mr. Wiggle, Mr. Wiggle, Mr. Wiggle, Mr. Wiggle. Wiggle. Mr. Wiggle. Mr. Wiggle on down. Mr. Wiggle. Wiggle. How about the Wiggle? Mr. Wiggle on down. Here we go. I said that one more time, Mr. Wiggle. Mr. Wiggle. Wiggle. Mr. Wiggle on down. Okay, one more time, last Mr. Wiggle. The Wiggle. About the Wiggle. Mr. Wiggle on down.
You know what I'm saying? And when they did found it, they did pretty good at it because it got our attention. So when I did hear their first record, I thought that they were like air raid, like they were like up and coming, like they were gonna make some noise like the other bands. And like again, there was no radio, not a lot of radio. So when they did become popular to us because of the record, we were looking for more PA tapes from them, right? Like, you know, what's next? And again, at that time, go-go was flourishing as far as like giving access to people from other areas like Virginia and Montgomery County a spotlight. So a lot of us was just looking for more music from them, right? More PA tapes from like anything else. Like we couldn't go out. Like a lot of us couldn't move around. So all we had was these PA tapes that we would just pass around like trading cards to each other. So if you had a clear Ovation, you know what I'm saying, from Lee District or somewhere around whatever they played, it was a classic to us because it was like one of the only tapes we had of them outside of the record. So for us, I think Ovation was a band that didn't, for us, I'm not saying they didn't take off, but for us didn't take off in a sense where it didn't follow up for us. Like they didn't give us enough music to embrace them into the whole realm of, you know, when you do name these bands, you name Ovation. Like you really have to know your history to even talk about Ovation or Sugar Band or any of these Sugar Deuce Connect, any of these bands. You would have to actually been outside or know somebody who was outside at a particular time to even bring these up. And that's kind of sad because these bands were real good. Like they were really good because they didn't have the influence of Southeast or Uptown. These guys were from VA, right? And they did it the VA way, and it was good, but there was no follow-up. That was the only thing that disappointed me as a person, like been around it forever. Like, you know, whatever happened to these bands, like, you know, even Shady Groove, you know what I'm saying? Like they had a nice little run, but they didn't follow up that longevity part of it, right? There was nothing in the 90s from them. There was nothing in the late 80s. You know what I'm saying? Things just started to fall off. I don't know if people just got older or what, but
daydreaming and I'm thinking of you. Daydreaming and I'm thinking of you. Daydreaming and I'm thinking of you. Look at my mind.
you know, bands like Ovation were needed for guys like me coming up because all we knew was the big guys, but we could approach the Ovations and the Air Raids and those bands, class bands, because they were around our age range, and they were outside like us. So I think for me, those unsung heroes from VA, like Ovation, need to be recognized as part of go-go history because they were part of the DMV before it was DMV.
Copy that. And you know what? That's so important for you to say that. And for anybody that sees this that don't know what most people know, tell them who you are and what you do, and tell them about go-go royalty.
So for me, I've been in go-go since officially, like actually working in it since 1983, 84 as a stagehand for EU. Did that for like 2 years. Then did the same thing for Rare Essence for about 2.5, 3 years. Left that camp in 88, 89, came back in 90, 91 and as a band member. And I played in Rare Essence from 1990 to 2001.
First up, we want to send a special dedication out to all of the homeboys that's been hanging out with us, talking about that Big Bad Montana crew, all of the Brentwood crew, all of that Fairfax Village crew, talking about the Oxon Hill crew too. Yes, indeed. All of that Ridge Park crew.
To really get into our music, and they just go crazy.
Now, when you want the audience to really turn on, what do you do?
I get them moving and grooving, and then I hit them with that extra kick in the backside, and then all of a sudden, it's wild. You got to be there to see it. You just can't describe it.
Is that how you get them to work the walls?
Yeah, get them to work the walls, work the tables, the chairs, everything. They just go wild.
So what's in the future for go-go? Where is it going?
One by one, we getting fly. One by one, we getting
left 2001 to start the group with Donnell and Bojack and Blue Eye and them with called 911.
We got the Remy and Coke with the basic feelings. Alice J for the ladies and the ill for the illies. For a little nigga on the curb. For the RIPs and the brother smoking nerve. Come on. Do that shit, do that, do that, do that. Hey, look, we gon' drink all the brown and all the white. Saturday night, the Metro Club, y'all. Now put your drinks in here. Put your drinks in here. Now we gon' drink all the brown and all the white. Sunday night, the trade win. Yeah, put your drinks in here. Put your drinks in here. Hey, we can drink the Remy. Yeah, that Hennessy. Yellow out of thing or the red out of thing. Absolute with that orange juice. Just go to the bar straight. Do what you do. We're drinking Remy, y'all. The Hennessy, y'all. Yellow out of thing or the red out of thing. Absolute with that orange juice. Hey, you about ready, 58? Huh? You about ready back there? You about ready, Boo J? What's up, Steve? Huh? Hey, look here. Hey, and that's Crab House. My nigga T-Roy. Ducky and Jeff. My nigga Sting Rick. One side, the DC side. 911 crew, we gon' let it ride. That's Crab House. My nigga T-Roy. Ducky and Jeff. My nigga Sting Rick. One side, the DC side. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Go, Jack, go. Hold it down and out. Right out now. Take a ride with me. Yeah, hey Joe, my Southeast niggas take a ride with me. What's up, Sweet? Hey, wait a minute. Hey Al, do me a favor. Hey, boss, cool, come on. Did that for a couple of years, and then ran into a guy, a friend of mine, named Reggie Burrell, better known as Polo, who had a band called TCB.
Let's go!
they can't do it like this. They say they get money, but we don't see none. Nigga, everybody talking about us, everybody word about us. Say they get money, but we don't see none. Nigga, everybody talking about us, everybody word about us. Say they get money, but we don't see none. Nigga, everybody talking about us, everybody word about us. Yeah, regulators, hold up. Money in the air. First and base.
Made me part of his management team, me, him, and Ben Abba, back in from 2004 to 2015. Took TCB from notoriety to infamy. So, yeah, I've been around for a while, man, from all aspects of it, from the old school to the bounce beat. I've had my hand in it and everything. And I actually have an app called GoGoRoyalty.com that streams Go-Go 24/7 on 3 stations. Today's station, the new up-and-coming, more relevant Go-Go today that people listen to. The Bounce Beat station is all Bounce Beat. And then we have old school, just old school music from the 70s, 77 all the way up to 98, 2001. So there's a lot of variety. There's a lot of choices for all kind of flavor of Go-Go to listen to on that station. And also the Go-Go Royalty All Access webpage also as well. You can pay a subscription and get access to, I mean, thousands of live PA tapes from almost every band you can name, from Reds and the Boys all the way up to New Impressions. Like I have it all in my database. So it's pretty much, I can put a whole Go-Go history collection on your phone, you know, and you can listen to them anytime you want, Bluetooth it in your car, in your house. So that's my contribution back to the culture.
Right. So I'm in the A, somebody could be in Colorado, and they can actually sign up, and I can stream what I want, and I ain't got to worry about it. It's all on my phone.
Yep. I did that for people like yourself who are not here, because CDs come out every week. Right. And you know, you might want to listen to Backyard from 2004, 2005. I have it. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to worry about trying to call back home to get somebody to ship you a CD or something. Like, you could just go right online, tap in, and it's right there. Whatever we have. We don't have it, just email us. We'll find it. Like, I'm sure we have it. Like, you know, there's nobody I don't know. There's not a band I'm not connected with that are somewhat, you know, having a conversation with, trying to get them to get on the platform. Because I pay the guys just like Spotify or Tidal would pay, you know, but I do it just for Go-Go.
So right there. What's the website again?
It's go-goroyalty.com.
And explain the All Access Pass again.
The All Access is Go-Go Royalty All Access is a website where you can sign in and you have the flexibility to go to any band you want to listen to. Like, say you want to listen to an air raid. I have all the air raids that they probably recorded from the 80s, late 80s, early 80s. And also, I mean, Mass Extension, Pacemakers, Reality, all the stuff I grew up on, you know what I'm saying? So just like yourself, I was a fan before I became, you know, a member of these groups. And it gave me appreciation once I got inside and got to see how people create these classics that we have all, you know, still dance and party to. So yeah, it's just fun, you know, going down memory lane sometimes and you know, grabbing a CD and listening to while you're riding along. You know, may hear your name on one of them, one or two of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. That's why I try to preserve it, because we're still alive. Like, a lot of us are still around. So we have a soundtrack to our childhood that definitely shouldn't be trivialized. So, you know, I play on that, you know. So yeah, let's all visit that and let's all have some fun with it.
And just for this little small PSA I'm doing for them, tell us about your connection and association with the whole museum movement that everybody's so proud of now.
Which part? The last part?
The Go-Go Museum.
Oh, the Go-Go Museum. So I'm on the board of the Go-Go Museum. Ronald Moulton reached out to me. He was way before he even started doing this thing. And he was like, man, I need some help, getting these jokers in line, trying to talk to some of these guys to get some of this history in the museum. I don't have, I got a good relationship with some of them, but some stuff I don't know. I need your help. So I reached out to a lot of people that I grew up, that mentored me, that's very important to me in the history of go-go, and I have a good relationship with. And I also made a lot of history with some of these people. I reached out to them and told them what this was, and they saw the vision. A lot of them just jumped on board and was like, hey man, let's do this. Let me give you some pictures, or let me give you this video. Let me give you this bass guitar. Like, it's things like that they gave, and stories, right? They gave stories. I was fortunate enough to meet Leno Druitt through John Buchanan, which the two guys are the original Soul Searchers, if no one knows. But John Buchanan, aka JB, and Leno Druitt were part of the original Soul Searchers, 1970. And Leno Druitt was Chuck's first Congo player. So when Chuck first started the Soul Searchers, I sat down with JB and Leno Druitt for the DC Library, and they did a oral history of the Soul Searchers, how they became part of the group. So that's my journey. That's me giving back, because people need to know these stories. You want to know when go-go actually started. I have spoken to the two people who actually originated it. They were there when the format was created, when Chuck said, keep playing. We need to get between songs. Like, they were there. Like, they actually did it. They told me when it happened. They told me how it happened. And they told me the people involved. So when people go around saying that the Young Senators are a go-go band, that's totally not the case. There were no go-go bands before 1976. So if anybody was around before 1976, they were not a go-go band. They weren't playing go-go bands. And by 1977, 78, there were only 4.
Listen, that's what we're talking about. What's that, what?
Rare Essence, Soul Searchers, Trouble Funk, and Experience Unlimited. So there were not a lot of go-go bands in the early, late 70s at all, mid 70s at all. So I've spoken to the people that were there, spoken to Big Tony, how he copied Chuck's style, sneaking in the Club LeBaron, opening act for Chuck, listening to Chuck, right, at the matinees, because he's a teenager, can't get into the older group, older club, so he snuck in, and Trouble Funk copied. Matter of fact, Big Tony told me that E-flat Boogie is a tribute to Bustin' Loose. He said he tuned his bass guitar to E-flat to play that song, because he couldn't figure out how Bustin' Loose, Glenn, whoever's the bass player in Bustin' Loose, inspired him to write that song. So that's go-go history for me. So whenever I hear these music, I have a context to how and why they were created and when they were created, because I was there. I know the people, I've spoken to them. So there's a lot of misconceptions about go-go and who came first, who came second, and all this other stuff. I've spoken to the people. So this is part of the Go-Go Museum, historical part of it. And I tell people, don't come down here looking for a statue of yourself. Come in to tell a story to the people who don't even know who you are. Right. Because there's a lot of people that's not looking for you. But if you're in that Go-Go Museum and people are asking questions, there's every opportunity for you to tell your story. So this is why I invite everybody to come. And it's an interactive museum. It's not something where you're going to see Jungle Boogie Congos from the high theater. It's nothing like that, right? It's just pretty much an historical interactive. You go to a screen, you go to a timeline, and then you open up whatever it is you want to read about, pictures you see, you open up. So their music you can listen to from that time period, also the groups. And we try to represent everybody. And it's, like I say, it's an evolving, living, breathing thing. So we're always adding things. We don't always get it right, because I was not there myself. And everybody has their own viewpoint, but there's a consensus on what really happened. And that's what we try to focus on. So that's part of the museum as well. So if you don't see something or hear something in the museum, it's not like we don't want it. We just haven't had a chance, or haven't even known that you were contributing something like that. So always step up and say something, right? Come in the museum, look around, enjoy what you see, contribute to it, like build on it, because we can make this bigger if people see that we take it serious.
Some kids, and that's a beautiful life. You got money in your pocket just to pay your bills, and that's a beautiful life. Just to make it through the struggle, and you still be here. Now that's a beautiful life.
Okay, wind me up. DC, stand up.
The Godfather, I got you. You spoiling me now. 6 years later, still the talk of the town. I put myself on, and then I put my team on too. Take home my BET. I spilled my drink on hope.
I copy that. See, we're so blessed to have you here, man, to do like a go-go history moment with us. So I'm glad you gave some background on why we should really tune in to you and what you're saying, because that was big, man. To tell us about the origin of the actual genre is awesome.
Yeah, because it's important to the people that started it that you get their story right, or let them tell their story. Like, I don't want to tell somebody's story. If you can tell it, I want you to tell it, because I know you were there. I knew you were part of that situation. So again, it's just getting the stories right, man. A lot of people want to clout chase and claim other people's fame, but you know, if you want to do that, then it's important that you're trying to do that because you're trying to do it. So let that person tell their story. Everybody has a story. I mean, from you know, Hollywood, the bass player from Reds and the Boys, down to Ghost on the drums, Skin Tight on the Congo, Spanky on the Congo, Joel on lead. I mean, I can go on and on about all of these people, man. Charlie Horse. Man, there's so many people I grew up watching, man, and they deserve to be mentioned today, just like they did yesterday, right? Because it's relevant. Right. You know, when Bounce Beat is playing on these timbales, they got to remember Trouble Funk started that, playing those timbales constantly through the song, right? It was really nobody doing that, you know. So, you know, all of it's relative, right? And these old guys, you know, I don't like to say old guys, but these classic guys that are still around, the young guys want to know who they are. They know who they are, but they just don't know how to approach them, you know. But they want to know who they are, and it's up to me and anybody else like me to introduce these people whenever we're in the same room together. Every time, all the time. I'm always introducing people. I'm always linking people together. Hey, man, y'all should do a record together, right? So I'm always doing that. So whenever people see me, they know I'm that bridge. I'm never gonna gatekeep. You know, I don't have a platinum gold ear to pick hits out of the air. I'm just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? If it moves my feet, it might move yours too. So let's look at this, right? So that's me. I'm always contributing.
So let me ask you a question, man. Need some education here, since I got you. Tell us about the origin of bounce beat. The origin of it.
The origin of bounce beat, well, actually the word bounce beat was created after the sound, right? Kind of like go-go was as far as the sound wise, right? There's always a thing called go-go, but it's never a sound, right? It came after. So kind of like bounce beat was the same way, where these guys were playing this style of music that pretty much is what they call the breakdown. Now, what we call work the walls is a groove, but they call it a breakdown. So Backyard took the breakdown and made it part of their DNA. So all of their grooves are based off of that beat, that stutter beat. And the younger generation liked that pattern. They loved that style of music because it was hyper, right? And they created these dances off of it and everything. So by the time, let's say, UCB and Raw Image showed up, it was that go-go was, man. I mean, UCB and Raw Image, man. If when I tell you these youngins got a pass like we got one, when we had cranking bands, you know what I'm saying? These bands crank. UCB and Raw Image were the young guys, Rare Essence and Chuck Brown. You know what I'm saying? They were those bands.
Your boy Godfather, we down here at SOBs, about to get in there with Wale, Mark Ronson. We got BKS on the scene, Rich Kleiman, the whole Alito. You know what I'm saying? We about to tear it down, man. Out here in New York, Manhattan, Soho, place to be.
So check it. This is my band, UCB, with a band I play with. This is Trey and Mike's band, UCB, all the way from uptown, Northwest, Washington, D.C. We ain't vote for Bush. Make some motherfucking noise, play. I see my band team in here. Yes, sir. So we're gonna give you some of that DC shit real quick, man. This is for all the beautiful ladies in New York City right now. Ladies, make some motherfucking noise. 703 in the house. Hey, what's up? I wanna ask you something. Is there any 80s babies in here right now? Let's try this. Make some noise if you fuck with Prince. Make some noise if you fuck with Michael Jackson, light-skinned Michael Jackson. So we're gonna take you back to the 80s real quick. I want Trey to sing this joke. You want to play that joke? I want you to play Don't Disturb This Groove real quick for me. If you fuck with it, all you gotta do is rock side to side. You can keep this shit for later. Just rock with me. It ain't hard, you know what I'm saying? I know some of y'all don't really got the rhythm because you've been drinking, but I promise you, you won't look stupid. Just, yeah, like that. You got it. You got it. She got it right there. And if you don't want to dance with him, you don't got to dance with him. Just get your two-step on. It feel good, right? Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. I'm so into you, baby. Sexy lady. Yeah. Give me your number, sexy lady. Hey, girl. You ready? See, I wanna rock you. I wanna put on this thing, SOB. Yeah. Come on. Sexy lady. Hey. Give me your I remember that name.
Yeah, those styles kind of like evolved into bounce beat, right? It's because they took it from backyard and made it more of a style instead of a groove or breakdown. They made it their style. So by 2003, 2004, when I got there with TCB, they were already doing this thing called clapping, right? TCB had a song called Ass Clap. So the beat was just clapping because it's just all the right. It's just that, right? It's just like how you put a beat to that. Like it's crazy, but you have to unthink everything you know about traditional beat go-go to understand bounce beat, because it's just work the walls on steroids. Like it's just all over the place if you don't understand it. But it's the most versatile style of go-go. You can put anything to it. You can put, just like Chuck Brown's beat, that Mr. Magic beat, you can put anything to. You can put anything to bounce beat, and they got variation styles too. Just like, you know, old style go-go has variations of style to their beats. So what happened was, reason why we came up with the name bounce beat is because there were a lot of younger bands copying off TCB as well. And Polo kind of like didn't like people, copying him. Like he just trying to, separate himself from everybody else, but everybody else was copying off him. So I gave him the idea to brand it. Like, why don't you brand the style of it and then call it that, and then you just be that, right? And he came up with the word bounce beat, because we bouncing. So he switched up from clapping to bouncing. So when he switched up to bouncing, they were the only band that was doing that thing called bouncing. So instead of copying off of it, they just called it the whole genre bounce beat. So now it became a thing. So that's how the word became associated with the music. But the music was already there, like the beats and everything were already there. So we just did it as a branded thing, just to give it a name. And now they got it, name it as a whole genre, like bounce beat is a whole like sub-genre. And I don't like to call it sub because it's not really, it's like it could be held right next to everything else. Like Welcome to DC by Mumbo Sauce can be up there with Body Moves. You know what I'm saying? Because it has a generational influence.
Since an embryo, really though, it's the city where the people hold the power, and you can see 9 dimes every half an hour. When luncheon and Joe is the lingo, and brothers rob, so ain't nobody rocking mink coats. Take you back to the madness had, so how the city renamed cigarettes jacks, so how even the mayor had a running with crack, but we all kept it real and we voted them back. But we got no stars that spit on bars like BET wasn't birthed in our backyard. So our NEG, our essence in our backyard, and junkyard got us all going hard. You know where you're at, the USA Cup. You're taking it slightly, I'm taking it slightly. Then how you gon' act, you gon' be right back, but we gon' be right here, we gon' be right here. We ain't going nowhere. Welcome to DC. I'm from the city to district, I own up to it, but right now I got a real big bone to pick. When this industry gon' let us get some ownership, we gotta take it, huh? Well, we own it then. This ain't a hit and run, no, we're not an accident. More like a hit and hold, sorta like we tackling. And we crank so hard cause we be practicing. And this is just the beginning, Slim. We just scrimmaging, so lace up your Nike boots and pass with the Timberlands. When them brothers off the boat like they Gilligan, with a condition that we living in, got us fighting over land and ain't now it's like cowboys and Indians. So football, yup, cowboys and Indians. And politics, yup, cowboys and idiots. But much love to VA and MD, that's why the new DC is the DMV. You know where you're at, the USA Cup. You're taking it slightly, I'm taking it slightly. Then how you gon' act, you gon' be right back, but we gon' be right here, we gon' be right here. You know where you're at, the USA Cup. You're taking it slightly, I'm taking it slightly. Then how you gon' act, you gon' be right back, but we gon' be right here, we gon' be right here. We ain't going nowhere. Welcome to DC. We ain't going nowhere. Welcome to DC. Truth is, this here's proof there's room to take it up a few years. Give us a few years. Let us test some ears. We be a brand new best of this. Scoring 100 on your questionnaires. Cause if the question is we the truth, then check the air. Cause if you check the know, somebody better check the air. Or check the water, cause it's something in it. We can't afford to be bush, it's only one in the district.
We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We gon' be right here. We ain't going nowhere. We gon' be right here. We ain't going nowhere.
That that those kids had, that we had when we was listening to that music. So that's how bounce beat became a thing. It was out of necessity to create a identity, you know what I'm saying, amongst ourselves. So that's how that became a thing.
Copy that now. Today, Is it moving somewhere different from that? You know, it exits to bounce beat. So what is it becoming now?
So what it's becoming now is that, like with regular go-go, with the grown and sexy go-go, because that's what traditional go-go has become to me. It's become grown and sexy. And then you have crank go-go. Like you have the bands like, Red Carpet Affair and Mature Clientele and Major League, all these crank bands that actually crank like the old, like I don't say the old, but the classic beats, right? The beats that we grew up to, right? The 90s, the Northeast Grooves Junkyards, the 90 Junkyard, right? The 90s Junkyard. Those bands are still around, and they're pushing the envelope by creating more music using that style. Same thing with bounce beat. New Impression is doing a great job of being more musical with their style than some other bands are. But it's all still the same. It's all bounce beat, and they're coming up with creative ways to do it, to add certain elements to it, to bring it to another interpretation of it. But it's still all bounce beat. And I think it's growing as more artists from this area become national and they take it with them. There's some young rappers that we have never heard of in the city that are big with, the younger generations that have taken snippets of go-go that they've grown up to. Like MOB. Some people don't even know who MOB is, but they were a very influential band back when I was managing TCB in 04, 05, 06 before, Tinko, their lead rapper, had a shooting accident. But those young guys I knew when they was teenagers and early 20s are grown now. They're in their 30s now and they're doing it. So I'm kind of like proud of those guys for pushing on and elevating go-go, because again, they know who the older guys are. They just waiting to be recognized by these guys, and the older guys need to be recognized by the younger guys, right? Because they laid the groundwork. And I'm doing a series at the Go-Go Museum, Moco County Go-Go, past and present, because they were go-go bands in the 80s and the 90s in Moco County, just like they were bounce beat bands in the 2000s or 2010s. And these people never met each other. So I'm trying to bridge that gap too as well, because you guys have the same influence. You did the same thing. Go-go meant the same thing to all of us, no matter where you was from. That's why I'm glad we're talking about Ovation, because Virginia had a go-go band back in the day when DC had go-go, right? And even now, like there were bounce beat bands in Virginia doing their thing in their region to keep go-go alive. So it's very important that we recognize these people who had the same love for it as the people in the city that created it.
Here at NBF USA, we are always cooking up fresh programming. You can support us by liking and sharing the content. Until I see you again, be legendary.
Right. Now, see, then let me ask you, as close as Moco is, how is it that we had such little knowledge of these bands?
Because the promoters used what they knew, right? They used the Petworths, they were closer, they were in proximity, because we could hear them, right? So they were our neighborhood bands, right? We didn't know any Moco bands or Virginia bands. They weren't from around where we were. So and I use Rare Essence as the blueprint or the prototype of it. When Rare Essence played, Southeast was in the house. Southeast was in the building every time, no matter what part of Southeast was in the building. And that's part of it. They brought the crowd. They brought that Southeast crowd. And then if you threw a go-go in the city, it was nothing for Southeast to hop on a bus, to get there, right?
Right.
Moco County to us back then, if you weren't driving, Upper Marlboro was a trip. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
fact.
Nowadays it's not nothing. It's Upper Marlboro's down the street does now, but Wason's Corner was country to us. Prince Frederick was a drive to us. Calvin County was what? Like Charles County. Now I know people went to Charles County, never came back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're trying to do their business. But that's how we thought of it. But now it's like the region is like boundless now. There's no boundaries. Like everything is blurred. But back then in go-go, you had to be from DC, or you knew you looked the part, which pretty much stamped you, and I think that was part of it. We just was more territorial about our go-go than anything. We wouldn't let anybody in because it was ours. Like, this is our thing. Y'all do y'all thing. We don't do our thing. Even with Air Raid, Air Raid could come to the city and, bang with the bands a little bit. but nobody wanted to go to Oakcrest Rec to play with Air Raid. You
At
know what I'm
all.
saying?
Right.
Because that was
Right.
home for them, right? So that's how it was. And I'm sure Moko probably was the same kind of way. You know, you come up to the bus stop, you know, and try to, you know, bump a reality, you might be in trouble. You know what I mean? So that was part of it, you know, and again, we were territorial. Like we protected our space.
Right.
You know,
I
from outside.
understand.
So I think that's why it was, you know, and I think Moko was the same kind of way where they were trying to break down barriers, but it was hard for them to mobilize in an area
Yeah.
where there were already people there. You know, you can't come to Anacostia Park from
Oh
Moko
no.
County with 300 Moko County people and think you're gonna make it out of there. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's just how we were. Like we were very territorial about, you know, and we protected our space. So I mean, but now it's like then there are no boundaries. Like people, they've shut down neighborhoods. You know, they've torn down
Right.
58. You
Yeah.
know, Kentucky courts. You know, gentrified
Right.
Clifton Terrace. You know, there's
Right.
a lot of places we aren't anymore. So those lines are blurred now. So go-go bands are just floating around looking for a home, looking for a fan base where you could just pull up something from, you know, your neighborhood and become popular. And then,
Right.
hey man, we playing on the other side. Like you can say, we from Clay Terrace, we going up Lincoln Heights to play. The whole Clay Terrace to go up Lincoln Heights to see y'all
Right.
play. So I mean, that's how we were. So I think that was a big part of it as well.
I follow you. I'm glad you I'm glad you're doing that, man, because I'm gonna tell you, that history is so golden and untapped, it's crazy. It's just crazy
Yeah,
stuff that we haven't seen.
right. So that's what I'm saying. For go-go, it's not old to us. We just have to reintroduce ourselves to people who have never experienced us. Right.
Right.
Like we got music that's still good that we created 5, 6, 7 years ago. That's still good, but nobody else has heard it but us. So again, the ownership is part of it as well. Go-Go has no real equity. Like companies can't come in and license us to do anything because we don't own our material, all right? Or we don't have any value to it, like to say, hey, let's use this record and generate some income off of this commercial. Like
Right.
a lot of people don't have that mindset. And I think we need more people in Go-Go to protect their brands instead of handing it out. I think PA tapes pretty much helped us, but it's pretty much cursed us as well,
Right.
where a lot of our music is floating around with no ownership and people hear it and they use it and they can make money off of it and we don't ever touch it again. Like I see people still selling CDs when I played in Rare Essence through the 90s. I don't see any of that money. It's intellectual property. It's mine. So I played it. I own it. I'm performing on it. But because there's so much of it, I can't benefit off of it. I can't ever go to somebody and say, hey, let me sell you the rights to my, you know,
Yeah.
performances for this amount of money so you can make some money off of. There's no value to it. So a lot
I
of times when
follow.
people are looking for major labels to come, major labels are like, well, what are you going to
Right.
do for us? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what are the return on investment of us giving you $30,000 to do a go-go album? Like, you know,
Right.
how are we going to make that back? You know, show me that you can pack 3,000 people in a club. Let me see the receipts. That's what they really want to see. Telling
Right.
me you had 500 people and you know came to see you play last night means nothing to me if you can't prove it to me with a receipt. Because now I can say you're worth 5,000, I'll give you 2,500 because I know you're
Mm.
going to make at least that 2,500 back because you made
Right.
5,000. So you can leverage yourself if you know how to do business, if you have value to yourself. And that's part of what money is. Money is used for leverage because if I have $1 million, you'll loan me 500,000 and I can use
All
that
fact.
500,000 to make another $1 million on top of that. So
Right.
that's business. That's how business does. But a lot of people want to do work under the table. Give me this under the table, but under the table hurts you more than it helps
That's
you
right. That's
in the
right.
long.
I follow. You know what's funny? Think about this. I see EA Sports and a lot. I hear go-go everywhere. Mixed
License,
in
they
with
go find it. Yeah, they go
amazing,
find
man.
it. They go find it. So I think a lot of people don't put their stuff up on catalogs because they don't own it. You can't put somebody else's music up. You do a cover tune and
Right.
try to put up, you're gonna get sued.
Oh
Why
yeah.
not pay for it? You get performance royalties, right? You might not get the actual writers royalties
Right.
for doing the cover, but you get a performance royalty for
For doing
performing
it.
that song. Yes, and you can do that all day long, and then the artist might come back and say, "Hey, you did a good job. Yeah, I might want to do a collab with you later on." But
Right.
instead, you and I call it stealing because that's basically what you're doing. You're stealing. You're using these people's music without telling them, and you're making under the table money. So when somebody hears that cover, I'm like, "Oh, that's a good cover." Oh no, but you didn't clear it, so you will never benefit from it. So everything you work hard for is getting taken away from you because you won't do business the right way. So that's why I tell people, do business the right way. Pay for these covers. If it's a good cover and you're doing a good job of it, you're gonna make some money with it.
That's neat.
Right? Just perform it,
Agreed.
right? So that's my thing about it. We don't have enough equity to go at people to say, give us $100,000 and you're gonna make $200,000 off of us. Like there's no proof that can happen. So until we can prove to corporate money that we can return your investment, we will never do anything other than what we're doing right now.
Long live the truth about go-go.